Hop up out the street, turn my swag on, take a look in the mirror and say what's up. Yeah, I'm getting money. Oh, a photo grade. Y'all already know. Palm angels on me. No palm angels on you. You ain't got the fee. A photo grade. Let's go ahead and get straight into it, yeah, dig. Oh, this is HD clarity.
Rap has always existed in a gray area between art
We in
and
HD
reality.
clarity.
Its stories often echo the struggles, pain, and danger of real life, but sometimes those lines blur completely. There have been moments when rappers stopped performing darkness and instead became it, crossing from storytelling into something truly evil. In this video, we'll look at 3 stories of rappers that turned their violent lyrics into reality, culminating in truly heinous crimes. But before we get into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe.
Hey, I'm Photo Grade. We got Big Lurch. See, sometimes you just gotta look at a nigga and be like, you look weird, bro. I don't even want to listen to your music. What you mean your name Big Lurch and you look like you look like the Diddler 2.0. I don't want to listen to nobody that look like the Diddler 2.0. I don't know about you. I respect my frequency when I put music into my ears. I'm Photo Grade. This don't look like something that would respect my frequencies.
The first story is about an old school rapper named Big Lurch that did something truly horrific that you normally only see in horror movies. Antron Singleton grew up in Dallas, Texas, born September 15th, 1976. At age 7, he began writing poetry, and by his teens, that creative outlet guided him toward rap. By his early 20s, he'd moved to California to chase a rap career. He gravitated to the underground rap scene. He had the size, the voice, and the energy to make it in the underground scene.
Okay.
He called himself Big Lurch, a
What does that
name
even mean?
inspired by the towering butler from the Addams Family. He
Oh,
eventually
shit.
joined the Oakland-based collective Comic Slop Shop with members Dooney Baby and producer Rick Rock. The group released the album Da Family in 1998 under MCA Records, with the single Sinful charting modestly on the US rap and R&B charts. The group broke up in 1999, so he pursued a solo career. His music fit perfectly into horrorcore, a niche subgenre where rappers painted cinematic scenes of death, gore, and insanity.
Now, you gotta look, when people listen to stuff like that, you gotta take a deep look at them. Because why the hell would you even want to listen to some shit like that, let alone make this music like that? Like, I understand you can try to kind of say that about the drill rappers nowadays, or they talk about catching this many bodies, they talk about killing him, her, on Photo Grade. I get that. But at least they just talking about shit that happened, like, yeah, we smoked his ass, bow, bow. Y'all probably talking about really horrific shit. That's not P.
For Big Lurch, it was supposed to be just art. But on April 10th, 2002, a drug-fueled psychosis would turn his violent lyrics into reality. At the time, Big Lurch had been living with a roommate, a 21-year-old woman named Tynesha Yesias, and her boyfriend in a Los Angeles apartment. That morning, a friend of Tynesha arrived to check on her. When the friend opened the door, she was met with a scene straight out of a nightmare. Tynesha's body lay on the floor, partially nude, with deep wounds to her face and chest. Her chest cavity had been torn open. Pieces of her lungs were missing. The apartment walls and floor were spattered with blood. There were bite marks on her face and shoulder. Furniture had been knocked over, and evidence suggested a violent struggle. The friend fled and called the police. When officers arrived, they confirmed what she had seen and followed a trail of blood out of the apartment. A few blocks away, they found Big Lurch completely naked, covered in blood, wandering in the middle of the street, staring blankly at the sky.
What the hell?
Officers said he was out of his mind, growling and incoherent. He was arrested on the spot. Forensic tests later confirmed the blood on his body matched the victim's.
Oh my God.
A medical report showed human flesh inside his stomach that did not belong to him. Prosecutors would later argue that Lurch had smoked the drug PCP, suffered a psychotic break, and attacked Tynesha in a drug-induced frenzy. At trial, his defense claimed insanity. But in California, voluntary drug use doesn't qualify for an insanity plea. In June of 2003, Big Lurch was convicted of first-degree murder and aggravated mayhem, and later sentenced to life in prison without parole.
That's valid. That's valid though. I'm not gonna lie. See, Cali be having a lot of dumbass laws, but that's a very valid law. You can't say that you crazy when you voluntarily smoke PCP off on the grid. Like, it'd be different if someone drugged you. You feel that? You hit a blunt and you didn't know it was whatever was in there was in there. But you just voluntarily smoking PCP. Who does that? Where do they do that at? Let me know where they do that at, and I will point you to the nearest police office, police district, police department, whatever you want to call it, to turn their ass in.
The depraved nature of the case caused it to go down in infamy, and Big Lurch was dubbed the hip-hop cannibal.
The hip-hop
The next
cannibal.
story is
crazy.
about a gang member / rapper named Guerrero 10K
Guerrero.
that's believed to have killed 5 people in a 4-month span. Guerrero 10K, renamed Christian Cavazos, was a buzzing rapper from Houston, Texas,
Right.
and one of the leaders of the 10K criminal street gang.
10K,
The
10K.
gang was accused of various crimes such as drive-by shootings, robberies, assaults, murders, and narcotic trafficking. Guerrero 10K was known to have a short temper and went to juvie as a minor in 2017 for assault. Guerrero 10K had been beefing with fellow Houston rapper Cash Out Ace, and the two of them went back and forth dissing each other on social media and in music. Eventually, this beef would lead to Guerrero going on a murder spree. On September 6, 2019, Guerrero was riding in a car with other 10K members when he shot into a separate vehicle containing members of Cash Out. The driver of the vehicle was wounded and decided to pull over in a light industrial area north of Jersey Village. With the car stopped, Guerrero proceeded to get out of his own car and shoot multiple rounds at the person sitting in the back seat of the rival vehicle.
Right.
That person, 19-year-old Ryan McGowan, aka Cash Out Spaz, was struck multiple times and eventually passed away from his injuries.
Okay.
It turns out that members of Cash Out were the ones that pulled up there looking for 10K members, but Guerrero and 10K caught them first. Following this incident, Guerrero would go on a hunt to kill Cash Out Ace. In the hunt to kill Cash Out Ace, Guerrero would kill an innocent elderly couple.
Oh,
On
man.
September 25th, 2019, a woman named Rosalba Reyes was driving in a purple Dodge Charger when she was followed to her home on Francitas Drive. Her husband, Romero, was driving behind her in his truck. Guerrero 10K and Cash Out Ace had been arguing on the phone that day. Guerrero believed that Ace's brother drove a purple Dodge Charger. On that day, Guerrero was lurking in Cash Out territory and saw a purple Dodge Charger go by. It turns out that that car was the one Rosalba Reyes was in. Believing that the car belonged to Cash Out Ace's people,
Damn.
Guerrero and another 10K member named Rico 10K followed the car and opened fire,
Damn.
killing Rosalba Reyes and her husband as he tried to run in and save his wife.
Oh, that's just bogus. See, this is my thing. No, this is no knock to the old couple that just got knocked off. No pun intended. But it's like, why do regular people want to drive Chargers and Hellcats so bad? Like, I understand, you know, it's a car. You can say whatever you want. It ain't my fault or your fault that the stigma on the car is what it is, right? But at the end of the day, you know and I know these cars are targeted. People, a lot of gang members drive them, and people go want to break into your shit. Police targeted them too. So it's like, you putting yourself in harm's way driving these types of cars around. Because even if they wasn't trying to, even if they didn't think you was the ops, they probably would have followed you and tried to steal your car anyway, bro. Like, I don't even get why people even want this type of cars no more. You get your car broken into or stolen enough times, your insurance is gonna drop your ass. And now you're not gonna have no insurance.
Once the shooting was over, they fled the scene, went home, and turned on the news. On the news, they saw they killed an elderly couple. Guerrero 10K began to celebrate, believing that he had just killed Cash Out Ace's grandparents. Instead, he killed random civilians.
Goofy.
Well, his hunt for Cash Out Ace wouldn't stop there and would lead him to killing 2 more people.
Goofy.
On December 27, 2019, Cash Out Ace was shooting a music video in which he invited guests. Unbeknownst to him, the location of the music video shoot was leaked to 10K members. During the music video, Guerrero 10K, Rico 10K, a man named Kevin Badillo, and another man named Roman Wise pulled up in a dark-colored Honda and opened fire. Guerrero 10K was armed with an AK-47, while Roman and Rico were armed with pistols.
Right.
Guerrero and Roman opened fire from the passenger side, and Rico shot out of the sunroof. The shooting was caught on surveillance footage from a nearby business.
Okay.
In the aftermath of all the gunfire, 9 people were shot, 2 died at the scene, and the other 7 were injured.
Right.
The 2 people that died were Gonzalo Gonzalez, a 20-year-old
Innocent people.
videographer who attended the University of Houston, and another man named Jonathan Jimenez, who was also 20 years old and a father of a 3-year-old girl.
Innocent.
Cash Out Ace was shot in the head, but ultimately survived his injuries. After a lengthy rehabilitation process, he is now almost back to normal. Their getaway driver, Kevin Badillo, was the first arrested, and he told the police everything.
Yeah.
Guerrero 10K's
One
house-
thing y'all gotta realize is the getaway driver's usually gonna snitch. You know why the getaway driver's gonna snitch? Because he's not gonna get as much time as y'all dumbass niggas. The getaway driver's gonna get like whatever. He's not gonna get the book. He's gonna get some time, but the shooters is getting the book. The getaway driver's getting like whatever. Like it ain't really that deep. You know, it is that deep, but you ain't finna get life. You might get 25, but at least you getting out. The shooters getting life. Probably the, you know what I'm saying, the needle, because they in Texas.
was raided, and bottles of codeine, counterfeit money, 14 pounds of marijuana, and a plethora of firearms were recovered. Eventually, Guerrero was arrested and charged with all these murders.
Right.
Rather than take it to trial and face the death penalty,
Take that
Guerrero
to
accepted a guilty
trial.
plea and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole till 40 years served.
Do you know why he took that? Do you want to know why he took that deal? 40 years, you got life with no chance of parole until you do 40 years at least. He took that because he knew if he took that shit to trial and lost, he was getting the needle. You are going to not be here anymore. The only time people take crazy ass plea deals like that is when they know they're done for. Like, you're done. They're going to send you up the road and you're never coming back home. And that's ridiculous, gang. Even 40 years, you're still probably not going to get out because you were in prison for 40 years. You caught extra charges in here. I know you didn't beat some folks up. I know you didn't stab some folks up. I know you didn't did something. That's just how it goes. I'm on the grave. And it's crazy, but hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Stupid is, stupid does. Shut